If Errol Spence Jr. is still Errol Spence Jr., I got him defeating Danny Garcia via decision. Now, I say this because over a year ago, or it's about to be the 1 year anniversary, Errol Spence was in a car crash that nearly took his life, because that was a very scary looking car crash, because he was drunk driving in the mid hours, drunk driving, and he nearly got himself killed. He's lucky that he didn't get himself killed, but he survived, right? Because of that, obviously he hasn't been in a fight since then, and obviously not just that, the pandemic and everything. So he's been out of the ring for a year. That's the big question going into this fight. Is everyone saying that? Even Danny Garcia. That's why you hear Danny Garcia saying stuff like, "Hey, Errol, when I beat you, don't make an excuse that you're not the same because of the car crash." Because if Errol Spence loses, a lot of his fans are going to come out and say, "Oh, the only reason Danny won is because Errol Spence, he ain't the same. He was in that car crash." So that's why I say, if he's not the same because of the car crash, he's probably going to lose. But if Errol Spence is still the Errol Spence that I know, then he will defeat Danny Garcia. And I'll tell you why. It's very, very simple. Danny Garcia is flat-footed. I saw Lamont Peterson give Danny Garcia a boxing lesson. I saw him moving and grooving, and he was just giving Danny Garcia a boxing lesson. And then he decided to fight him toe-to-toe, and he gave Danny Garcia the advantage. But when he was on that back foot and when he was moving and grooving, he was giving Danny Garcia a boxing lesson. I saw Amir Khan outboxing Danny Garcia. I've seen fighters outbox Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia is flat-footed. Now, I saw Errol Spence Jr. fight Mikey Garcia, and I saw Errol Spence Jr. give Mikey Garcia a boxing lesson with his toes. With his feet, he was moving, because he understood that the way to be a counterpuncher like Mikey Garcia is to make him chase you, because Mikey Garcia is not a guy who hunts you down. He's a counterpuncher. He wants you to come to him. So how do you beat somebody like that, a shorter guy who's a counterpuncher? You do what Floyd Mayweather Jr. did to Juan Manuel Marquez. You make him come to you. You use your legs. You outbox him. And he frustrated the shit out of Mikey Garcia. Now, if that version of Errol Spence fights Danny Garcia, I see him easily giving Danny Garcia a boxing lesson. Because although he wasn't too smart in his decision of driving drunk that almost cost him his life, Errol Spence Jr., I'll tell you this right now, Errol Spence Jr. is a smart fighter, because I noticed when it comes to him is he knows that he has to change his style up when it comes to certain opponents. When he fought Kell Brook, he knew that Kell Brook was the boxer. So he knew the way to beat Kell Brook is you got to hunt him down. You got to break this man down. So what did he do? He hunted he hunted Kell Brook. He was on him the entire fight. He broke Kell Brook down for, 9-10 rounds, until Kell Brook's eye socket was broken and until they threw in the towel. Because he knew that's what he had to do to Kell Brook. Because he saw guys beat Kell Brook like that. So he said, I got to do this. But then when he fought Mikey Garcia, it was different. He didn't chase Mikey Garcia. Instead, he boxed him, because he knew that Mikey Garcia was a short counterpuncher, and he knew that he had to force Mikey Garcia to chase him. He knew he was the taller guy with the longer arm reach, so he knew, I got to make this guy come to me, because that's what's going to be his kryptonite. He did it all night, and he dominated him. I already saw Errol Spence Jr. come out and say, listen, Danny Garcia, you're flat-footed. He said it to his face. So that lets me know that he knows that Danny Garcia is a guy that needs you to be going after him. He's the counterpuncher. He needs you to come to him so he could catch you with one of his hooks that he loves knocking guys out with. The problem is being able to, when you fight with the style of Danny Garcia, you need your opponent to be standing in the pocket right next to you. You need him to be right in your lane, in the same block as you. If you're moving and grooving, it's difficult for him to land. Danny Garcia is not a guy that chases you down. So that's why he looked terrible when he fought Amir Khan and when he fought Lamont Peterson, because they were using their legs. So I guarantee you, if those two could do that to Danny Garcia, Errol Spence could do it with no problem. If he's still Errol Spence Jr., right? Styles make fights in boxing. As good as Danny Garcia is, he needs you to be standing in the pocket in order for him to be successful. He would love it if Errol Spence just stood in the pocket and fought him toe-to-toe. Because then he could land his hooks. He could land his body shots, his uppercuts. He could actually land punches. But he's going to be in a world of trouble if Errol Spence is on his back foot. And I know Errol Spence is an intelligent fighter when it comes to his fighting style. So I know he's going to do that. He's going to fight the boxing style. So that's why I'm saying Danny Garcia should lose this fight if Errol Spence is still Errol Spence. Now, I don't know if he got any brain damage from that accident. But if he got some brain damage and he thinks I'm just going to go in here and fight Danny Garcia toe-to-toe, then you might see Errol Spence get hit a few times to get his head buckled. Because when it comes to Spence, he's not necessarily the best defensive fighter. He does get hit. I've seen him get hit on several occasions against several different fighters, even against low-quality fighters. He is really easy to get hit, to be hit. He's not no defensive genius. You know, he gets hit easily if he's in the pocket. Because sometimes he gets overly aggressive and he wants to try to knock his opponent out, but he leaves himself exposed and he gets, his head rocked seriously bad. So if he decides to do that against Danny Garcia, then I do see Danny having success. But if he fights a disciplined fight, and he boxes Danny Garcia, he should win this fight with ease, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Let me know what you guys think of this fight in the comment section of this video. Thanks for watching.